What the hell is this? It's like
This how we doing it! This how we doing it!
Show in here.
What the hell?
Oh, there we go!
The ship definitely travels.
He older. He older.
I'm sorry, you said the
He looked
what?
the same.
Travels?
He sound like Todd to me. Like I know what I'm not saying I don't know that he does the voice of Todd on BoJack, but right now because that's what I'm watching, like he's Todd like a motherfucker.
No details.
No details, fellas. That money you put in my pocket, that doesn't just extend to this job. That'll get you attorney-client privilege on all matters. What, you two drive around like Mr. Softy, scooping out drugs for all the good boys and girls?
No, we don't deal from here.
I said no details.
Dude, to stand in front of a meth lab, it's not like he ain't gonna put two and two together.
He is on a need-to-know basis.
Oh, I didn't want to show my face. Did he need to know that?
You two actually make the blue stuff. I had a fish that could have used this as a vacation home, but you're using it to make the goods. Huh?
Shout out to that
That's
fish.
It's a round bottom flask. Right? Round bottom.
That means you're Igor, and that makes you. You're Heisenberg. I'm gonna make it work.
I'm taking the 80,000 as a starting point for negotiation.
Take it any way you want. That's the price, and I'm calling shotgun. Think you might have messed up my rotator cuff. Lucky I'm not charging you for my chiropractor. She's expensive, but she adjusts everything.
You gotta give us some gas.
I
when you're
gave
backing
it
up.
the proper amount of gas.
I guess that's why we're moving then.
We just need to sit a moment. That's all.
And he's still dying like a motherfucker. I almost forgot about that.
So, who's Lalo? That some dude named Lalo sent us? You seem pretty freaked out. Never heard of no Lalo on the street.
It's nobody. Hey, are you gonna try that?
They have no idea how close they were to him. It just separation. God damn. Hey, that's yo, that transition is fire. Because right there at that moment, from then on, that's how he ends up getting to where he is right now. Which is basically, you know, that was kind of the death of Saul Goodman. You know, it went on the trajectory of the death of Saul Goodman, right? That was the why am I so hyped by that? Oh shit!
Where did you read that? First,
Well, they just catching motherfuckers.
yeah, big time. Don't put all your eggs
Moscow
in one basket,
Mule.
genius. About water. Sure.
It cannot. Sunshine rag. Standing more at ease.
Boy, they getting all sorts of rich bachelors. Ain't that a bitch?
Part of you.
There we go. Yeah. He got to get his funds up. He got to get his funds up. Oh, we doing some old faithfuls. I like that montage.
But in my experience, that's the exception. You can't let a few bad apples spoil it for the rest of us.
Those look exotic. I went through that phase. I took every vitamin there was. What are those for?
Cancer.
Is it bad?
Well, it ain't the good kind.
Hey, it's none of my business, but should you be drinking?
You only go around once.
You got that right.
You sure you don't want to take this one, Vic? I can wait.
No, it's all you.
Okay.
Is he going to try to call it off, maybe? I don't know.
Anyway, you're 12:30, just walked in.
Aces, send them in.
When you're done.
I can multitask, please.
I'm not gonna talk to you while you're on whatever that is.
Yeah, Mike is like,
You know, LBJ used to have his underlings give him reports while he was on the shitter.
cool.
Well, either I'm gonna leave or I'm gonna put my foot in your skull. There's your Mrs. Denise Gabler. She's cheating, all right.
Well, at least I know they didn't spot you. No one could stay that aroused with your mug peeking through the window. What about that Heisenberg fella?
High school chemistry teacher. Walter Hartwell White, working with a former student, current meth head, one Jesse Pinkman.
What else about the teacher?
He has lung cancer.
That's why he can't quit with the coughing.
Now listen, even if this guy was gonna live, I wouldn't go near him. He's a complete amateur.
Well,
If the cancer doesn't get him, it'll be the cops or a bullet to the head.
is that your appraisal, or is that what he who shall not be named says about him?
He didn't say anything. The guy's small potatoes.
This Heisenberg guy's got something.
Years ago, I bought a Betamax. Good product, top of the line. Experts said it was better than a VHS.
What
Turned
happened?
out to be a complete waste of time and money.
Absolutely. Like HD DVD.
Guy with that mustache probably doesn't make a lot of good life choices.
Cop was driving by just as he was ducking in a window. No one else on his crew went down. Solid.
Once again, they carried on with, like how I said a couple episodes back, how, you know, this changes how you see the original show Breaking Bad kind of forever if you watch this, right? It doesn't even make sense to not watch this if you're a Breaking Bad fan. To see him having any sort of hesitation or thought beyond, you know, wait, guys, you know, just hands, wait, guys, huh, and then, you know, going off. That's what the character was on Breaking Bad. But, you know, there was thought behind it. There's a past to him that affects how he saw shit.
What do you mean? He what?
Did he die?
Tell him to get his ass back to the garage right now.
Oh, no. Better come back there to the garage.
I have to weed through all these saps who have wives and families at home, find somebody who's alone with money, and what, so you can just wimp out?
The guy has cancer, man. I found pills in his pocket. Okay, the same ones my dad took.
So, a guy with cancer can't be an asshole? Huh, believe me, I speak from experience. Besides, it'll be months before they even realize they've been taken. This guy will already be dead, so please get back in your truck, go back to the house, and finish the job.
No, man. Oh, look, we're doing really well, right? Hear me out, okay? I mean, we're rolling in cash. We could just let this one go.
Not your call.
The door's locked. We couldn't get back in even if we wanted to.
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, I can see both sides, kind of.
And I know I don't need to tell you this, but since you're such a goddamn amateur, I will anyway. Keep your mouth shut.
We're really gonna go back there?
What did I just say? Jeff, are you in or out?
This is...
What?
It's stupid.
I'm down for this, I am. What time did the guy take the drugs? We gave it to him, what, 3 hours ago? I don't even know if he finished it. He might be awake by now.
Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Relax.
This is crazy because we know the scenes. That motherfucker, Walt, was like, fuck is you doing here? Right? Because at the time, we still figured out how he know shit about it, right? We didn't know how dope Mike was. And Mike even, I don't even think we knew he existed at that point. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we knew Mike existed at that point. Like, damn, y'all. What they're doing with the scene. So, like, that right there. Remember, we see him understanding Walt has cancer. He's vulnerable at this time. You see him make the decision, even though he thinks about it. And then him walking to go speak to Walt now that he knows more about him. That's the stamp. That's the seal. Like, hey, this is happening. And then this motherfucker going and doing this. It's like, that's the stamp. That's the seal. There's no coming back from this stupid shit. Now that, with Breaking Bad, that's different. There's no way he knew all the things that go and will transpire. But on this is just right there in front of his face, dumb. right? Like they're doing these little moments, chopping it side by side. Fire. Yo, so this show, for a large portion of it, it's a prequel. 99% of it so far, prequel. Okay? What we see takes place before Breaking Bad, but in the sequence of production, it comes after, right? Like this was produced after Breaking Bad. So when we see this episode where it takes place in the future of Breaking Bad, and it then goes back to the events of Breaking Bad and re-examines them. It adds context and layers, and the episode in itself layers the decisions and the events made at the time of Breaking Bad with the decisions and events being made after Breaking Bad. It's dope. Okay? What they did here, like just talk about, like, I broke it down into what it is as a show and then the production part of it. We knew that we're going to see Jesse and Walt. We knew this. Okay. Question is, how are we going to do this? How? And I can't recall what it was I watched recently where I spoke about how a lot of times they'll take the easy route and it's just a bunch of flashbacks instead of them through the development of the character and dialogue and, you know, how people are moving for us to surmise, well, what took place in the past to get us here. A lot of times they just, real quick, we could fill them in with flashbacks. That's not what took place here. That's not what took place. They took stuff we had already seen and added context to it, and things become even more funny and more, okay, so for us to see him inside the camper, at first it's like, okay, like before they started showing everything, immediately we saw, oh shit, the camper. Like we knew exactly what it was. He's speaking Spanish and he's trying to get out of it because, as we know, and it's fully been confirmed, he thinks this is Lalo coming back for vengeance. Okay. So it's funny, it's cool, right? We had already got that extra context to it because now we had already got what that meant. But now that everything is taking place, all the way up until this season, it adds that context of why he's so like that. And so for us to see him inside the camper like that, it's like, oh shit. All right. And then they boom, immediately cut. And we're like, oh shit. Because we can sense what's coming, right? And then he speaks to the secretary. Why can't I remember her name? Hold on. Francesca. Okay. He speaks to her and hears, oh no, the empire is fully done. Like there's nothing. Everything you had hidden is done. And then one last thing, he holds it till the end. You know why? You don't ask about that. That's the big nest egg. What was it? 800,000 or something like that? That's the big one. He holds off like, okay, well, what about, I gave it up. And you're like, what? And then when she gives a reason, you're like, oh yeah, like what? You ain't gonna get me on some shit that he did without my knowledge. Fuck that. No. Hey, he's like, fuck. Early on, I said, between that last episode and this episode, if you ask somebody what's Better Call Saul, these two episodes signify it. It's like at the height of Better Call Saulness. It takes its time with it. And then when things happen, you're like, oh shit. And you know, you're like, oh, please don't. Oh, are they about to? It's that sort of emotion on it. But there are moments where it's just them taking their time, seeing her do the fishing line, going to get that money. And we all knew what it was, but they're still showing it to us. So you get the time and care that it took for them to hide that and stuff like that, right? It sort of builds up that moment. And so he gets on that call And she like, and also Kim called. Remember, we don't hear about her in the show and all that. I would assume, based off of that conversation we saw him have with her in that phone booth, he done told Francesca, don't mention that bitch around me. And he was like, she mentioned me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, almost like, I thought we wasn't mentioning each other because fuck that bitch. Right? What they did with the last time we see that they speak, where they show that conversation, I said, where we see that they speak, because that's not how that ends. Most of the time, it ain't ending on some, well, all right, well, see you later, and I'll go do me, and you go do. Nah, they, I would assume they had some conversations that it went just how we saw. So for them to pull back and show us that, it's like, oh shit. And then for him to, I just assumed he was there for her this whole time with Nebraska. And then also for him to just straight up know where she's at. Like he knew. And he's known a while. Why? Because that motherfucker was like some sort of fish and up. Like we got that from that scene. He know where she's at. And so when he called, I'm like, wait, is that some code name or something? That ain't really her. No, it's her. And then when they pull back, you see the conversation like, oh, goddamn. Right? Like they filling in voids and shit like that while still not just giving you every goddamn thing. Like this is the height of Better Call Saul this episode. I swear it is. Right? To the point where I'm pretty sure there was things that I missed where I was like, wait, huh? Right? So even if there was something I missed, y'all let me know. But on that first part, I don't think I missed anything, right? But so there's a couple things here. There's a couple things. He got those diamonds and shit, okay. But he called with the assumption that some of it will be left. Right? And also doing little name drops and shit. You know, Skyler, Jesse, his vehicle at the border, right? Like I had just started talking about it. I feel like I'm obligated to watch El Camino. And apparently I need to watch this shit. I need to watch it. And then, you know, him saying the maestro, what was it? Not kick the bucket, bought the farm, right? So, and we know what that meant, right? That's Walt out of here. And they're like, nah, that made them get more because they want to get somebody, right? Like the motherfuckers did all this work. No. We going after somebody. So she's still getting followed. They open the mail, all that. And you see where she at. Okay. Now, two things I said. That any sort of thing, he could expect that it was going to be gone, but he held some sort of hope. It's out of here. Okay. The second thing is Kim. And then hearing, you saw how that conversation went. So now I need to get my funds up in some sort of way. And also, this is how he deals with emotional instability. Okay? He goes back into that hustling. He goes back into Jimmy. Now, here's the thing, though. When we see how he looks, just how he looks, and then also how he is in this situation, he's a master of this at this point. This is nothing to him. We saw that montage, and it's like, yep, he getting them. And it's nothing. They're going through it. I mean, they just destroying motherfucker. It's light work. You see him using old shit that they was doing, using beverages to transport the money. You hear him talk about that with Francesca too. Like, wait a minute. Like all the shit they've been using. Laser tag, the vending machines, all the shit they had set up, right? And you look at it, when you hear him talk that way, also, Walt, the amount of money that motherfucker was making, that was like a nest egg type of thing. That was, right? Testing. Okay. So this is nothing to him. He killing it. That you see that? I mean, making money hand over fist. Oh, shorty got the HP. computer. That was funny. Just cat videos, because that's what was popping at the time. Even them making that little thing and showing the old school YouTube format, like that's what YouTube was. It was just goofy shit like that. Now you got essayists and full-on documentaries and music videos that are worth a damn and concerts and live streams. But back then, it was just a storage facility for cat videos and terrorist beheadings. Every once in a while, you'd have some viral shit. You know what I mean? I thought this was my hood and shit like that, you know. So we know how he is. This is his way of dealing with shit, but this is also his way of making that money because it's easy for him. It's light work, especially in a place like Nebraska. These dudes getting got. He was finding rich bachelors who just out there having fun on a weeknight. This is what they doing. Okay. By the time we get to the dude with cancer, oh, first off, they were doing little transitions and videos and shit, and shit where they're letting you know, oh, we're drawing parallels here. So when you see the empty grave that they had set up to scare the shit out of Saul, and he's laying there, right then and there is the moment where it's the beginning of that sort of death of Saul. Like, everything that happens after that is how he ends up there. And then you see him laying on that bed where it's like, okay, well, whatever they got going on here, this seems to be the beginning of a downturn. Okay. So then we see Walt and Jesse, and it was cool. And it's adding more context and layers, and you know, it was just funny and them being them. As I said, Walt and Jesse, the thing that was funny to me is on some Walt common sense shit, he was right a lot of the time. And on some Jesse street smart shit, he would be right a lot of the time. Now, they would both end up doing stupid shit sometimes. And they would both, you know what I mean? And then that's why I just felt like when people would do the taking sides thing, it was silly to me. At moments when you take side, okay. But the overall thing, I'm like, y'all missing the point of what the writers is doing here. They're showing some intelligent, well thought out, like they use their intelligence and make some well thought out characters that aren't as simple as Jesse is stupid, Walt's a genius, Walt is evil, stupid, and Jesse is just the vulnerable one getting. That's not what it was meant to be, right? Like there was some complications there. So at the moment we see them just talking, I'm like, that's who they are, right? Like they made sure that it wasn't just, hey guys, it's Walt and Jesse. No, we saw who they were. And for them to do it in the way that they did it, where we're adding more context to a scene that at the moment it looked like, no, I won't say it looked like it was simple, but at the moment we thought we understood everything about it. And even as we're watching it, we think we understand everything about it here, right? He's doing the hand thing. Wait, you know, the big ass cufflinks and shit. Okay. And then we see Walt cough. Okay, think you got it. And then we see Mike. Now this is what's dope. Remember, at the time, when he shows up to that high school, that motherfucker like, how the fuck did you know? What the fuck? What you doing? How did you know? Okay. The way they did it was so dope. Putting it in juxtaposition to what's happening now. Because you see him hear from Mike about the cancer. You see him hear from Mike about being a teacher. And you see him now make a decision. Because when we see him in Breaking Bad, he's Saul. He's up for this. But you see the look on his face like, huh? Right? That's a human, a full-fledged human. That's what we're getting from Better Call Saul is Gus is a human. Mike is a human. Saul is Jimmy, a actual realized human. These aren't just characters in the background of Walt's story, right? We thought we were getting a bunch of, think about it. When we watched Breaking Bad, we thought we getting a lot of these characters. But we getting full realized humans. But the thing is, this is what's dope. There's still more to the story with a lot of them. There's more to the story with Mike. There's more to the story with Gus. But with Jimmy, I feel like we're getting as much as they can give us with the Saul thing and what's happening here. And so, for one, to see Mike and him have their conversation, it's like, yeah, they would have had that conversation. And all the callbacks and him laying down and doing the little jiggly foot thing and Mike saying, I could bounce. What he said, I'd kick you in the skull or some shit like that, So you see there's some sort of thought process there. It's not just hustler, lawyer, hustler, right? Nah, the whole show has been about filling in what we knew of him. And so at that very moment, seeing him like this, like, right? And then we see the stamp of, oh no, I'm fully going through with this when he's going to the school. Right? We remember these scenes where Jesse and Walt are, and then we see him go to the high school. Like, if I recall, the way that high school scene works is he's walking by and he looks through the door and realizes, right, hold on. Actually, let's see this. So look. The very first comment is saying what I'm saying here on this episode. It says, God, I love how they're connecting everything together. It's like watching deleted scenes. It's so dope the way they fucking did it. It seems simple, but the way they did this here is fucking dope. And yeah, it is how I said it. He's walking by and he fucking like just happens to look and it's like, oh shit, there you go. And so for him to go there, make that's him saying, all right, this is what it is. We going through with this. But remember, we're not thinking there's any sort of hesitation. We thinking, oh, nah, this is what it is. This is Saul. Nah, there was a thought process behind this. He's a human. Okay. Now we go to where he is now. Remember, they're layering this side by side with what's taking place now. I'm thinking, well, the dude has cancer. Is he going to just stop it? No, it was the other dude. One of the new guys. He said, no, I'm out. My pops I think it was his pops, he said. He was taking them pills. I'm good on that. I'm not doing it. And you see him needing that hustle right there at that moment. I don't know what the fuck wrong with you. You got to get the fuck up out of here. And he was like talking tough and all that, but he's going through with this in a way that's so stupid. And the final little thing, where they show the after the episode, I don't know if they do this during the show as it airs, but on Amazon, they'll show a little tiny, just vague something and then says final season, Better Call Saul. And they showed 2 cops pulling up to a house. Yo, what the fuck, man? Right? But they layered it with what it is. And him going through with it, that was him fully being like, because he still had a chance to be like, watch this. Him even asking Mike to do research and shit, that's about him making his decisions. How am I going to work with this? How am I going to do this? He still had a chance to be like, all right. He could have sent Mike at them boys like, hey, you better stay away from this motherfucker. Fuck out of here. He ain't working with you. But that motherfucker decided, nah, we doing this. We getting that money. This motherfucker make that blue shit. He still had a chance. He went and did it. On this part, he had a whole bunch. I'm thinking, okay, he's going to pull out. No. He has a guy standing in front of him. No, this is stupid. What? We making a bunch of money. This is just one guy. And he's amping it up. You know how much work I do? Yeah, we've done a bunch. Like, this is one guy. He's going through with this. And this is so stupid in a way that, like, dog, you could get caught. Is this almost him wanting to get caught, like subconsciously or something like that? Who knows? I fucked with this episode heavy. He made a decision here to go and continue doing this, and not just continue, do it in just a stupid way. The guy is telling him like, dog, the place is locked. I put the tape back, and he breaks in. What the fuck? this is him in need of that hustle, but it's going too far. And that's why I'm like, is there a subconscious thing of him just wanting to get caught? Because what does he have to live for at this point? To see him call Kim and there be an argument like that, it's like, oh, I just assumed. Oh, I thought. Nah. It's not that. It doesn't. And we got 2 episodes left. What they did with this episode was dope, man. To fill it in like that, they made him a fully realized character. That's what this whole show did. And that's what I'm saying. Like I heard there are talks of trying to do something else within the universe to fill that character in like that. And they filled in Mike, they filled in Gus, but there's still more to Mike and there's still more to Gus. And there's who else is there? As far as major characters from that show. Right? But yeah, I rocked with what happened. If y'all got any more to fill in, let me know. Right? Cause hold on, I want to check something real quick. Cause I'm like, Francesca didn't say how to contact Kim. She just said Kim contacted me. Right? And said what he said. He was like, she asked about me. I don't even think during the episode, Kim is in Florida at some sprinkler place. I mean, she may still be doing some lawyering for them down there, but I don't. Yo, what the fuck? This whole time he's known. All right, hey, we got 2 more episodes. I don't even know. This was a fine episode. Like, for them to do what they did here is like, damn. That, hey, next episode.